got involved with Extreme Home Makeover at Heritage Homes through my dad's company, CBI Business Services. They have a really good working relationship with Heritage Homes, and because he does kind of human resources stuff, they asked him to do volunteer management, and he kind of voluntold me that I was going to be taking that position instead of him, and so I said yes, I'd be happy to do it, as long as I got my way all the time. And the people at Heritage Homes were more than agreeable, and they said whatever you want to do, however you want to do it for volunteer management, you know, it's really your boat, so you can sail it the way you want to. And that was really big relief, because I had I had some trepidation about working with people that I didn't know at all, but right away when I met the people at Heritage, it was very easy to just relax and be like, this is going to work, it's going to work well. It was a lot of exposure to a lot of different people who really were willing to do whatever you asked, whatever it took. It's kind of the spirit of Fargo, Moorhead area, is that when the call goes out for things to get done, people jump at the opportunity to do those things. It was almost shocking how just devastated people would be when they found out that we had a quota for the amount of people that we could have working. It wasn't the situation we normally have where we need everybody at all times to come work. It was, we need 30 people, and once those slots were filled, you can't put extra people, because it becomes a safety and a management issue of personnel. And we had people that would sit, and they said, well, if somebody doesn't show up for their shift, can I be put on the list to get their shift and work? And that's something we could do. And they would sit there for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours waiting for an opportunity to go on the site and sweep, or maybe even go on the site and just sit in a holding pen waiting for the opportunity to sweep. They were just, it's the way it works around here, is that people want to get involved, and they want to help, and they want to serve their community. And I think the fact that it was a not desperate situation, it was all coming out of a place of love and community. Okay, so there was a planned event that involved the school kids from the school that Garrett and his siblings went to, where I'm not exactly 100% on the details, but what it was these kids were going to get to come and see the site and maybe meet some of the television personalities. Well, we had the time slotted, and prior to the allotted, start time of this, people were showing up at the volunteer tent waiting, and I remember getting in my cart and driving to the site to let them know that people were showing up. And as I'm walking up, I noticed that there's small children in the VIP tent just kind of walking around, and I went in and I said, hey, what are you guys doing here? And he said, well, we're here for the school event. I said, well, where are your parents? And they said, oh no, the school's just right over there. And then that's kind of when I had this very sick feeling, as I realized that the security perimeter that we had set up to keep people from just wandering on site, the school was kind of inside that. So when the kids got out of school, these sneaky little ninja children made it past security, made it through barricades and under velvet ropes and through the back walls of tents, and we were kind of faced with an issue that we were going to be flooded with all these children, and they were just kind of given carte blanche to start showing up by people outside of the program and the build. There were some mixed signals in the school, I believe it was, and so then I desperately drove back to the volunteer tent. Volunteer tent was greeted with hundreds and hundreds of children with their families waiting to get in, and then that's that's when, had I not been terribly dehydrated, I would have started to cry, but I didn't. Luckily, I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure who it was that came and just kind of took over. I think it was Daryl. I think Daryl just swooped in. No, maybe it was Tyrone. It was either Daryl or Tyrone. One of them came in and just took control of the situation and said, "I've got these kids," and we lined them up and marched them with their families in a giant parade over to the house. And at that point, it was out of my hands, and so I turned around and I wish I had said I had a beer, but I know I didn't. I had like a Red Bull or something.